Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Crown of Glory Creations. I'm making a new video. I know I haven't made one in a while, but I'm kind of new at this and I'm getting the hang of it. I'm making this video because I had an interesting discussion with my brother's wife yesterday, and she had a lot of questions about how to care for my niece's hair because she is mixed Mexican and black, and she has hair texture that she's unfamiliar with how to care for. And I've run into several clients and other people that I've had this discussion with that have mixed children, and they have the same type of questions and the same type of challenges. And it's just unfamiliar to them. It's not really more so that they don't care about their child's hair or they just don't want to do it. It's just they're unfamiliar, and then a lot of times they're too afraid to ask people for help. And thanks to things like the internet and YouTube, it can be very helpful. You just have to be careful and mindful about the information, because just like any other textured hair, everybody's hair is different. So different things might work for different people, but I just like to give like a few basic pointers for people who may be struggling with their mixed child, or even if you have not mixed child and you're just still struggling with basic hair care needs for your child. I have just a few suggestions to help you to make it a little easier for you and for the child to get the hair styled and keeping it healthy and stress free. Or less stress as possible. I first of all would like to say that styling the hair for any child can be difficult, no matter what race or texture the hair care is, because children, are not as patient, and sometimes neither are we. So it makes it very difficult to do the hair. I suggest first of all being as very patient as you possibly can, being very gentle. Doing a child's hair, some children are trained and they can do it, or they love getting their hair done. A lot of the times children need a lot of breaks. Gotta take breaks, and so sometimes styling the hair may take a little bit of time to do when it comes to, if you really want to style it. Sometimes if you just have the basic hair care needs for your daily routine, it can be simple. But just these pointers will help you out maybe just a little, or at least I hope it does. First of all, water is very important when it comes to before the pre-styling, to make sure you moisturize with water or any type of oil water mixed together, to moisturize the hair before you begin to style. It's really important to do that because it takes the curls. A lot of times mixed textured hair has curls, whether they're loose or whether they're tight. It helps loosen up the curl just a little. So you can begin to style the hair. There are some textures you may not need water and oil mix, and sometimes you do. For me personally, in my hair, as a textured hair, I need water and oil to sprayed in my hair to start off my styling process. Another thing, I said oil. A real light oil is helpful. I personally like coconut oil. Use coconut oil, but that's pretty light. It's very light. You just got to be mindful of allergies, food allergies to coconuts, before you start using any types of oils that are food based. Olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, and so on. You just got to be mindful of allergies. But I personally like coconut oil because it's light, like I said, and for a child's hair, it's really helpful when it comes to your styling process, your daily styling process routine. Just, you don't need a lot, just a little bit. Coconut oil is a solid and liquid, so when it's over 75 degrees in your room, it turns all the way almost clear. When it's underneath 75 degrees or lower, it's solid and white. So either way, it can be used, whether it's solid or liquid. It really doesn't matter. It's really helpful when it comes to making it a little softer, so you make it easier for yourself when it comes to the styling process. And another thing that's very helpful is when it comes to, like, if you want your child to have their curls to be defined, and curl definition hair gel helps. I like Eco Styler, but I personally didn't like this one. It was on sale and I wanted to try it, but I personally didn't like that one. I personally like the Eco Styler olive oil, or the new line they have, Eco Styler flaxseed mixed with I think it's shea butter. It's like yellow. I wish I still had that the container, but it's yellow, and that one has my curls beautiful. And I'm sure that for your mixed texture child's hair, your mixed child, that the curls, it's very beautiful. For finer hair, I suggest not putting a lot because it's kind of heavy, you know. Don't put for fine. If you have fine, if you're a mixed child with fine hair, I suggest doing light anything, just light products, because so it won't be too heavy and oily on the child or any, any person. But right now we're just talking about children. But yeah, it won't be too heavy on the child's hair. And then the more thicker, more textures you get, you just add a little more product because it requires more product. When it comes to having textured hair tends to be more fragile, and it tends to need a little bit more care than other textured types of hair, any other, curls, especially when it's curly. So those things are helpful for your daily styling routine. For if you want it to make it easier for you. Oh, and another thing I forgot to add for the daily styling routine is detangler. I'm actually out of detangler. Yeah, I'm out of detangler, but detangler is very helpful when it comes to your daily styling routine. I mean, it's almost vital. It's almost vital for your daily styling routine is to use detangler for your child. It makes it easier for you and it makes it easier for them, and it really helps. There's several different brands of detanglers, so you just will have to try different kinds to see which is best. They have oil based and they have water based and they have cream detanglers. Creamy detanglers are more for the thicker, more dense, tight curl textured hair, and then you have like the water based kind of spray on detanglers that might be more helpful for people with finer hair, or not the curls are not so tight, so those are helpful for that as well. The next thing I would like to get on for the mixed textured hair that might be helpful is the washing and conditioning process. When you wash the hair, it's always probably best to detangle the hair first with a vent brush. These are very helpful to detangle the hair before you wash. It'll be very helpful to tangle it before you wash, once again, because the curls get tight. Section the hair off in fours. If you have a child that has more dense, thicker, tighter curled hair, it's best to comb it out first before you wash in sections. And when you mix it in the sections, you wash it really good. You take each section out and wash it. And then when you put the conditioner in it to sit, you detangle again. And then it'll be very soft and easy to detangle. And I suggest putting it back in sections after you put the conditioner in on each section. It's very helpful to do that because by the time you're finished with the whole washing process, when it's time to sit your child down and style the hair or do your routine on after you wash, it makes it a lot easier to do when you've done those detangling processes first and not waiting till after you finish your wash process. The type of shampoos and conditioners that you can use, I really don't suggest certain brands just yet because everybody's hair is different. But anything with a detangler conditioning or any type of products that are created for curly textured hair are good to use. Less alcohol, just be mindful of the alcohol inside of the products and the amount of it in there. If the majority of the products ingredients on that you're reading you can barely understand for the most part, is not really probably good products to use. You want to use something that has the majority of as much natural products as you possibly can do. I know that most products do have certain chemicals in it that we can avoid, but a lot of the times if you look online or just if you can afford more, for more quality products, unfortunately, yes, you do have to pay more for quality. And that's just how it is when it comes to hair products. They have a lot of different kinds, and then even if you're more on a budget, such as myself, you go to your local beauty supply, you just have to really be mindful. In the future, I will suggest certain brands on a different video of different types of brands that are more budget wise, and then your more expensive kind of quality ones where you can order or they have inside the beauty supply, but we'll do that on another video. Another thing that's helpful with the styling process when you have your mixed child's hair is to control the frizzes when you want to do maybe pigtails or some type of braids or some type of edge control. This is the one I have right now, but they have different kinds. I'm not personally suggesting any type of brand, but that edge control is very helpful. Like if you use certain kinds, like you see like me, it leaves flakes and all that. I don't personally like that at all, but I'm still trying different types of edge controls as well to see which one Personally, I wish I had the container, but they have different. We'll do that on another video with the different brands that I personally suggest. But that's, like I said, different video. But you know, those are things that are very helpful when it comes to the mixed textured hair. Another thing that I suggest to make your styling process easier over time is to maybe press it with a pressing comb, maybe about once or twice a month, if that, you know, just every now and then, to begin to loosen up the curl if you're dealing with a child with a tight, dense curl. You know, it can be very difficult to manage when you have a child with a tight curl and thick hair at the same time. For a daily, probably pressing the hair maybe once a month, or maybe once every other month, or just something, not too much heat, very light press, not too much pressure. It really helps bring out the curl just some, to where it loosens it up and makes it easier for you over time. Or even just right before, you know, some type of fancy hairstyle or something you might want to do that you couldn't normally do because the curls are too tight. You know, that can be very helpful. You just have to be very careful. If you're not savvy with heat tools, I personally don't suggest doing it. Just take her to a professional hairstylist, to him or her to a professional hairstylist, to be able to do that for you. If you're not savvy with it, because it can be very dangerous and you can be burned. And if you don't know the levels of heat and how not to, you know, when too much is heat and not enough, it's just more wise to take your child to a professional hairstylist when it comes to those heat tools or any type of chemical that you might want to do. I don't personally suggest chemicals, but I'm not an extremist. You know, it is what it is. You know, whatever you think is best for your child. But if you're dealing with any type of chemical like relaxers or curl softeners or texturizers or anything like that, or heat tools, if you don't understand how to do it, I really personally suggest taking them to a professional hairstylist that you trust and that has a great name behind them. And then I think that is probably about it for the basics. You know, it could be more, you know. What I'm missing? No, that's just the basics, you know, for now. You know, we can get more in depth about styling needs and hair care needs more in other videos. But for me, I just really had felt the urgency to create this video to help out people with mixed children who really do not understand how to do the hair. It's really not as complicated as what it seems. It's just unfamiliar to you. And sometimes you just need someone to help you, and I'm here to help. So, you know, I really hope that was just a little bit helpful or a little bit informative for anyone who needs the help. You know, so everyone, just give it a try and then see how it works. And I hope that you guys all have a great day and happy styling. Have a good day.